Hey, so in an effort to catch up with the vlog stars, I'm now doing the 90s tag, which is only 10 questions, so it should be shorter than the one I did last week, the week before, whenever it was. Favourite Disney film? I actually had to Google, because initially I wrote some down and I was like, oh, it's a 90s tag. Does it need to be from the 90s? So, The Rescuers. I loved that film. How amazing was that film? That whole... oh, so good. So good. NSYNC or Backstreet Boys? Backstreet Boys? Hello? Favourite music artist? Spice Girls? Because they were incredible. Were they 90s? Or Britney? Was she 90s? I don't know. The 90s and the sort of noughties sort of merge into one for me. There you go. Favourite candy or sweet? Slash sweet. Pear drops. They are just... so good. Been a long time since I had a pear drop actually. Really need to change that. Weirdest fashion trend. The one I didn't get was crop tops. Because why? Your midriff gets cold and you feel like you've got to be some sort of six-packed up supermodel or something. I know you don't have to be to wear a crop top, but you know, when you were a teenager or whatever in the 90s, I wasn't a teenager in the 90s. Okay, when you were a child in the 90s, you know, no, and still no, I don't get it. Favourite game console and game? Game Boy. I forget which Game Boy was out in the 90s, but Game Boy. And I also had Tetris. But the Tetris wasn't like a Game Boy thing. I've forgotten what the word is, I don't know. But it wasn't a Game Boy game, it was like a whole thing that just had Tetris on it. And it was incredible, and I used to spend all my time at airports or on aeroplanes or basically anywhere that I was allowed to play with it on Tetris. What would you watch after school or college? Well, I was at school. Recess. Again, I have no idea if most of these are 90s, but that's why I used to watch Recess because that was so cool. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Who didn't watch that? Clarissa. Loved her. Fresh Prince. Obviously. Who didn't watch Fresh Prince? And there was like loads of other stuff that I used to watch because I used to watch way too much TV, I suppose, but there you go. Favourite book? Again, I had to Google what came out in the 90s. Northern Lights by Philip Pullman, of the ones that I saw that came out in the 90s. I read that and I really loved it, but then I never read the rest of them. Go figure. Favourite clothing store? Tammy Girl. I remember Tammy Girl. Now when again, 90s, noughties, I don't know. Tammy Girl, that was big when I was a kid. Where I lived, that was good. Your best 90s memory? I have no clue. Literally have no clue because I have no idea what happened in the 90s, what we did in the 90s, and what happened in the noughties, and what we were doing like as a family in the noughties. So, I don't know. Sorry. Which school was I at? So I will have been at primary school. So, I don't know. Brownies. Going to brownies. Starting brownies. There you go. Jumping over the toadstool. Mushroom. Was it a toad? Yeah, toadstool, not a mushroom. That kind of thing. I'm hardcore. Right, yes, anyway, I said it was going to be short, so I'm off. Bye-bye.